Now, in your 2xc blueprint, or your double your conversions guide, you talk about split testing. In particular, you talk about A/B split testing and multivariate split testing. Various elements of a website. So you do an A/B split test on the headline or an image or something like that on your website to see which version converts better. Again, before you go on, can you give us a quick definition about what split testing means and the difference between the different types of split testing,
Sure.
basically A/B and multivariate?
Yeah, those are the two main types of testing. And the reason you want to conduct tests is because, lots of back in the day, before conversion test optimization was really popular, web designers would be like, they use their creativity to come up with ideas to make your website look better, and they'd think, oh well, this sentence would is more appealing to your customers. And then let's pretend you were getting your web designer to build your brand new website. This was the situation. So they built this new website with everything, and they're like, bang, there we go. Here's your new website, and you launch it, and unless you were measuring your conversions, you really don't know if that prettier website actually converts better. So you want to test, anytime you make a change to your website, you want to test it to make sure the change you made actually impacts your conversions positively. So that's what an A/B test is. An A/B test means you test one version of your site, version A, with another version. So if it's a headline, as you said, your original headline that you have right now is version A. Then you come up with a new idea of a headline, that's version B. And using split testing software, it sends half your traffic to version A, half your traffic to version B, and then once enough people have gone through each version, for a fact, okay, version A converts at 3%, version B converts at 5%. And that's once a statistically significant amount of traffic has gone through. So if you know that, you're like, okay, well let's run version B all the time. It converts better.
Sure, that makes sense.
And what you do then is you make a new test. So you're like, okay, well let's try and beat version B. So you make a new test, and it's an ongoing process. So you're always trying to better what you've got. So that's an A/B test. That's really simple, and that's really what most people will need. The other main type of test is called multivariate. And what that means is you're testing multiple things at once. So you can be testing their headline at once, the location of a call to action button, whether to have a picture here or there, or which picture. And you have lots of different tests going on at the same time. And at first, to a beginner, this may seem really appealing because they're like, oh, well, straight away we'll know what the best combo is. The thing to be aware is you need a lot of traffic when doing multivariate testing, like thousands of visitors every day. Otherwise, it will take a very long time until you have a statistically significant result.
Okay.
So, because one of, and also when you do a multivariate test, you don't actually know what exactly, why something worked or didn't, because you have all these different things going on. So maybe the headline improved conversions, but the new hero image actually decreased, is actually worse, but you don't know if you're testing both at the same time.
Right.
So sometimes it pays to test one thing at a time, because then you have that insight. You're like, okay, well, we know our customers convert better when we have a female hero image rather than a male hero image.
Yeah.
And so using that insight, you can apply that to your other marketing campaigns. Like let's say you're an offline business and you give away brochures, or you have a billboard. You would use a female as your hero image there as well, because based on the testing you've done on your website, that a female hero works better.
Excellent.
So so well, I guess that's really all you need to know about A/B and multivariate testing. I guess one thing I would say is it really is as simple as what I've said. Like, when I first heard about A/B and multivariate testing, I thought, well, what else do I need to know? Like, what don't I know? And I kept looking around and trying to, learn more about it. But really, it's exactly as it sounds. It's simply a test. It's simply sending traffic to two different variations of a site to know which one converts better. That's it.
Would you be right? Would I be right in thinking that for the average, small business owner or even internet marketer who isn't quite getting the thousands and thousands of unique visitors per day, for most people, A/B testing would be the better option to give them better data, at least to start off with?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And just as another insight for people who are thinking of doing multivariate testing, if you're in that position, I would, if you haven't done much testing before, I would start off with A/B testing and do a radically different design. Like if you're thinking of doing a design change, and by the way, conversion testing can be a lot easier to implement things in design, but just for the sake of argument, let's say they want to test a new design. I'll test a radically different design to what you've got and use an A/B test. If that new design converts better, then you're like, okay, now let's do a multivariate test on it and figure out exactly where, how the layout should be and what should be where. But you do that on your, it's a refinement process.
Yeah.
Whereas doing an A/B test in the beginning is really that's the big one.
Okay, great.
And then multivariate is like refining it. But really, it's quite an advantage. Like for most people, I wouldn't even worry about multivariate. Just stick with A/B and yeah, you'll be fine.
Got it.